Speaking of new projects, YP season 3 drops.
You have the floor, please.
Purple cover.
Do you think this is a trilogy? You know, because YP had YP
mean-
season, YP season 2, and now this is YP season 3. Does it feel like a trilogy
There
to
are
you?
three if there are 3, then it's a trilogy now.
Yeah, but like, you know, at the same time, like feel-wise, other than like just the title, does it feel like a trilogy? Does it feel like something has come to an end, or you know, does
you know what you were expecting me to do earlier? I'm going to do it now. So
let's go.
Shout out to Psycho YP, you know, shout out to Apex Village, you know, Big Slime, you know, Purple Umbrellas. I love that the cover is purple. I love that there are 3 iterations of YP on the cover. And I love a lot of the music on the project. What you said about a trilogy, is it a trilogy? Are they the same themes? For me, this album sounded like a bit of a betrayal of YP season 1 and 2. And what that means is that I understand YP can't keep doing the same things, but it sounded like he was trying to make concessions he didn't need to make in his career. Like, the song with Zatan was cool, but there are a couple of songs on there that were just like, why is this? Not why is this here, but like, this doesn't sound as good as what this project is. So it was like...
What
great.
songs? Name names.
Can I
Points,
name
points.
names? Do you have the album track list? I don't have it on this
Pulling it up right now.
But yes, I'm not saying this like, I'm not saying it's a bad project. I'm not saying that. There were different tones and all of that, and it did feel at certain parts like, oh, this is not like a cohesive cancel. Okay, I like Sinner. I like...
What do you think about Afa? My country.
Yeah,
people?
that was one of those moments where I was like, nah.
I understood, like, you know, and I was glad for, you know, one thing, the fact that song
Nigerian Man with YC is hard though. That would surprise me too.
But I'm just going to interject, you know, where you're headed, and just say that, like, you know, songs like Alpha, and then they were like elements also of like where we are right now as a country, you know, and our headspace generally as Nigerian youths. There were elements of that, and I liked it because, you know, it showed that like now it's not just only about vibes. There's also social commentary coming into play, and it's a reflection of like where we are now. Everybody's feeling the crunch as a Nigerian, and like I feel like Nigerian kids, Nigerian youths are the most affected because the inflation is not even making us work dog hours. If we were working dog hours before, now we're working dog hours times 2. And I like how it was reflected, even from like, you know, maybe the dating scene, things like that were reflected here, you know, to like even the election political scene. So for me, I actually understood and I liked it, but it still felt a bit hollow.
Okay, yeah, I like that word, hollow. I was listening to CK's album and I'm like, if you remove the whole, oh, he's a Nigerian thing, this album can play anywhere and go bar for bar with anybody. And like, that's why like I fuck with certain artists. Like someone was standing Mason 2500 in the house, like, and why I fuck with Mason is that you can play his songs with them Cardi, with them Yeet, and like you don't need to say, oh, he's Nigerian. Like you can be proud that he's operating on that level. And that's why I fuck with YP. Like YP is a rapper. I'm not calling him a Nigerian rapper. You are a rapper. You are on par with all of them guys. So like when he dropped IC3, people were talking about the commentary that he spilled there, that if you listen to the jam, you'd have to listen to, like, take yourself in the moment and be like, oh, this guy is actually talking about, you know, like going to jail in the UK and like the laws and how that keeps you down and all of that. What I'm saying is that everybody's going to say the same things inevitably, but what part of why people like you is how you say things, and you don't need to try and fit in to pass a message. Like just pass the message how you pass the message. And on My Country People, didn't sound like, for me, that was the best way YP was going to deliver a message from YP. Like, but like I said, Nigerian Man was hard. Like I fuck with that jam. I think I didn't like Scandalous as well. So it was just like a couple parts where it just sounded like he was conceding for an audience. And I get it, like he's getting so much bigger that, you know, it's not the same, like, tunnel vision
yeah.
of I'm trying to be myself
And
and also trying to
I think he's also not as indie as he used to be because he has like a deal with Honor PM, so all these
definitely.
things.
So
come
you can
into play.
hear that, and whenever I hear that in a project, I'm gonna be like, oh,
You'll be sad.
yeah, because like at
It
the end
feels
of
like
the
you're
day,
losing your
they're
guy.
paying you.
It feels like you're losing your guy.
No, not losing. It's like they're paying you for being you. So like, fuck them.
This reminds me of
feel.
when I listened to Weekend's Beauty Behind Madness. I just knew we were losing Abel.
No.
I knew The Weeknd was going to become more pop from that moment on, and it was something that we had already been expecting because we knew that was what The Weeknd wanted. We knew that's where he was headed.
So for this YP thing, I feel like the jury is still out, but from what I listened to, it felt like it's the weakest, and it's so hard making sequels. It's so hard, like especially as an artist, to capture the essence of a project. But I feel like this is the weakest YP season, and as like the few.
So let's rank the YP seasons, Judge. How would you rank them?
2, 1, 3. That's why.
2, 1, 3. I think I agree because I definitely listened to 2 the most. 2 put me into like the YP this thing. 2 made me he made me like heads up, we like YP. I really listened and rocked with 2. Listened to 1, but definitely not as many times as I listened to 2. And I see what you're saying about like 3 doesn't have the the cohesion and the flow.
Just that snap.
Yeah. And I would say at the same time I wanted to say it doesn't capture like the zeitgeist, but the truth is that, like I said, in 3 we see YP doing social commentary, so it does, but like the feel, the sound is a
it's not
bit.
his first time talking about.
Yeah, do you get exactly, because 2 and 1 rather, they actually notch like moments like we can all like relate to and everything.
Yeah.
But like 3 is different in like how the sound flows and like how it's just like constructed generally.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm still going to bump it. Shout out to YP, but I know that the next project he's going to come out with will be even harder. So that's why I fuck with Euphoria. I feel like Euphoria was better than this, to me.
I thought you didn't like Euphoria.
Did I say I don't like Euphoria?
I thought you had like issues, not that you didn't like it, but I thought you had issues.
I like
that
Euphoria.
Are you sure?
I prefer Euphoria to this.
Okay.